So interesting stuff in the last 2 weeks since we spoke.
Mhm.
Um, a lot of fun things to start off with. I think first on my list is market reaction to Tesla's earning versus Google earnings. I think that's a super super fascinating one.
Yeah.
Um, in the last episode we spoke about I think I had mentioned that it's very important to have the right framing when you're trying to make that investing decision. And the framing should always be what is going to happen for this company in the future. And I had referenced the fact that for Tesla, investors should always look out for FSD, the humanoids and stuff. And that's what the company is that's what you're investing in. And what happened with Tesla earnings? Um, decimated in terms of the auto business or the EV business. 70%, 70 plus percent decline in their EPS, I believe.
Yeah.
20% year on year decline in their revenue. In my head is that's a catastrophic result. I mean, you shouldn't be. That's in Nigeria. You call that F9. Nothing short of F9. And what did the markets do? 2 days in a row, this last year skyrocketed 6% and
Rallied
7%
25% on
within those 2 days.
those
Yeah,
pre-earnings
yeah,
to Friday. Yeah.
which is insane, absolutely insane. When you contrast that with Google, Google released the results that was what revenue grew, I think year on
Stellar.
year,
Mhm.
opposite 20% increase in revenue. I'm not sure about that number. Don't quote me. EPS went up either 42 or 48%. How do you have an EPS that goes up by almost that's half of 100% score? That's insane. Well, guess what the markets did? The market reacted with
Barely
only
moved.
1%.
Yeah.
It barely moved, only 1%. Those are two separate reactions. And I think for Google, the general consensus is they are losing prominence in search. ChatGPT is becoming more and more successful in creating the verb that I referred to last week. People are now saying, yeah, you need to ChatGPT that stuff, just like you Google that stuff, which means they are Google's moat in search is sort of eroding. And ChatGPT is sort of taking that, sort of it's like yeah, chopping into you know, taking a bit of that every second. And I think that's the way that the market is seeing Google right now. So I mean, for me, those are two super
Yeah.
fascinating.
I mean, for Google, I'm a bit, I don't know if it's more of a perception issue or reality. Because I mean, we keep talking about them losing search. And yes, you're right. Like there's if you look at the daily active users for ChatGPT versus Gemini, it's almost 10 times. It's vastly I mean ChatGPT is just vastly superior in terms of customers. In terms of the quality of the models, I do not think ChatGPT OpenAI's latest models beyond ChatGPT is even superior to Google in terms of performance and all the
Yeah.
benchmark that has been run for different use cases. But for some reason, everybody just keeps going back to ChatGPT and OpenAI. So then the question you then ask yourself is, well, how does that draw down into the numbers? I don't know if searching the way that we do search, like just I want to find out something, I go to Google and search in the past. And then all of that transferring to OpenAI and all these other LLMs. I don't know how much that erodes Google's profits. Because like we shared last week, the search earnings are still been growing regardless. And Google, I think, faces this dilemma of do I integrate Gemini, which is the LLM, into like the interface, the front interface for Google search? And what impact would that have on their search revenue, right? So you're faced with this dilemma on what should I do, right? And I hope they figure it out. But yeah, you're right. Like it's challenging. And then for Tesla, I mean, there's a saying on Wall Street like the market can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent. So
I love that saying. I love it.
um,
I
if
love
you
it.
come out and say, you know what, I actually think there's been a lot of terror attacks on Tesla. I think their sales are declining in Europe, in China, even in the US. I don't think they are very close to FSD launch in Austin in June because they've just not shared enough information. You have all this negative coverage of Tesla's approach to the market and on the news, right? So if you play that news and say, you know what, this stock is not going to perform well, you're going to be right.
Hmm.
But what you get wrong is a second order implication of getting that right. So if you say, you know what, I want to go short Tesla, I want to go buy puts and stuff like that because you think the earnings are going to drop, well, you might have your head handed back to you, and which is what happened. So yeah, it's a stark contrast. One company crushed earnings in Google, and the market barely moved. I think it was up, I think 1.4%.
Yeah.
And then Tesla, one of the worst results that Tesla's had since they started making profit a couple years ago. And the market said, you know what? I don't care about the past. I care about the future. FS is launching in couple months. They gave us a slight preview of what Optimus will look like and then the production line in
Yeah.
the earnings results. And the market has just said, you know what? I'll give you a 25% upside from 230. I think now it's trading at 285 or something. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's been an interesting week for sure.
Super, super
But
one.